Good morning, my friends. Welcome back to my channel. It's Belinda here, and this is Visualized NZ. Trashcraft Tuesday day. Woohoo! And I do apologize if I sounded a little insincere then. When you're really, really tired and you think like you're just so tired that there's nowhere to go. I've reached beyond that stage. So I am running on almost no energy, no inspiration, nothing. I am incredibly tired after a big party weekend, on top of not sleeping and really gale-forced winds last night that were just so noisy and crazy and anyway, I'm jumping on. I'm doing a video because that's what I do. I do apologize if it's a little bit crazy, a little bit hard, a little bit messy. I don't know. We're just going to go with it. And what I've chosen to do today is I have this bit of packaging. It came off a coil of string and I was quite intrigued. You can see I've already had a bit of a play with it. The shape is just, it's really cool. This kind of, I don't know what you even call it, arch shape here in the hook area, I think is really fun. I think these circles cut out are just really interesting, the half circles. And I took it off when I was using the string and I started just fiddling around with it as I was watching TV, and it was like, this is starting to generate some ideas. And I thought, so for today, I'm more or less talking about how to be inspired by packaging that you see that has an interesting shape, some sort of feature that catches your eye. And as humans, we can tend to look and go, oh, that's cool, and then bin it. You know, a typical human. Junk journalists take a little bit more thought, or any crafter who likes to reuse supplies tend to look a little bit deeper, a little bit harder. But how many of us still go, oh, I could do this, that, yeah, and then you promptly forget it. So today I have been inspired by this. I want to see what we can do with it, what we can turn it into. So I have a few ideas. First off, I'm going to use this little arch piece here. So I'm just grabbing my journal for December and I'm going to turn to today's page as I'm recording this. Nothing on it yet. And I want to use these little bits here. Now, some of these projects, obviously we're not all going to have the same packaging. Some of you might, but we're not all going to have the same piece packaging. So really I want to inspire the ideas of looking at things differently, seeing what you've got and how you can use it, and also maybe how to recreate this particular shape. I'm not so sure about this arch here, whether I can recreate that, but like the outside. So we'll just see where we get to. So first off, I want to use this as like a little template or a stencil. I did try and use it as a stencil with ink, like with my vintage photo ink brush. Because it's thick cardstock, it's not the best. Like, you've got to work really hard to get the shape. And so I'm not going to be doing that, but you can, just an idea, you can do that. I am going to grab a pen. So I've got yellow page over here. Do I want to go yellow? Let's go grab yellow, and I've just got a marker pen here. I might go the other end because I don't want to contaminate my pen with the vintage photo. I'm using the brush tip end. You could use whatever. Actually, do I want to do multiple colours? Let's grab out the red and green. I'm going very Christmassy in my December journal, so everything is mostly, when I'm adding things, mostly in the Christmas sort of colours. So I'm going to just kind of do like a bordery bit, but not straight. I don't want it straight. I want to play around with it a little bit, create an interesting border. So I'm just randomly placing my yellow up and down all over the place. and not evenly spaced, because I don't want to take too long. I just want to give the idea. So there we go, we've got some yellow. Let's go to, which one do we want? The green. Let's go green next. I might just give that a little wipe out with a tissue, just to, I don't want to contaminate my pens too much with the colour transfer. So I'll just try and wipe off the excess as much as I can. Right, green. Okay, let's go in and put some green down. For some reason I'm not doing the green as well as what I did the yellow. I'm allowing some to overlap. I am getting some ink transfer from my little mini stencil here. It's soaking through the card a little bit. Oh look, that's quite pretty. Doing some over the edge of the page so it's shorter. Whoops, I think I just went out. I did. Let's put a bit of paper in behind so that we're not doing that again. Not that it's, you know, too big a deal really. Whoops, put it around the right way and let's use the right end. Okay, that's the green. Put the green away. Let's give this a wee wipe down again so we can go in with the red. You could use biro, gel pens, whatever you like to do this. Right, that's, I think, as clean as I'm going to make it. And let's come in with some red. So I'll start with the simplest idea first. And that's what this is. This is just a simple idea. But I just think it's such a fascinating shape. I've never seen on a bit of packaging before. So fun. Let's give it another wipe. I'm thinking maybe I might make a plastic stencil from this shape, because I think it is really fun. Require a lot of hand cutting. Right, so that's that. We have done just a simple little page border. Didn't take long. Just a bit of fun. Doesn't that look nice and bright and happy and fun? And you could then go in and let's grab, do I want that pen? No, I don't want that pen. Maybe this pen. I'm turning it around just for ease of use. Maybe start at this end and just draw a line around inside the shape, or you know, whatever one likes. You could add some doodling. Just have fun. That's what I'm doing. I'm just having fun. It's a bit of art journaling. Imagine doing a spread in an art journal based on this shape would be quite fun as well. And I did contemplate that. But yeah, like I was saying, energy is a bit lacking. And we didn't even really have that late a night. It was about 12:30 when we turned the light off in our room. And a wee while later we could hear the rest of the staff coming back to their rooms, yelling and shouting and, you know, hoo-haing and what have you. So that we definitely weren't asleep by then. And it was fun. But we were both really tired to begin with, so, you know, a late night on top of that. And then last night the wind was just awful, really, really awful. And our chimney was rattling so hard. And I actually got up to have a look, and I couldn't see it rattling on the bottom section, so obviously it was up and where the wind is above the roof. So there we go, just adds a bit more depth, doesn't it? But yeah, it was just, oh, it's awful. I hate that level of wind. It's quite scary. And then the fire alarm went off last night as well, which could have been an accident, or trees down, or power lines down, or who knows, a fire. Could have been anything. I haven't heard. Right, so that's one idea. One idea, being inspired by shape and using it to create some sort of cool effect, arty effect. Simple. Done. Right, the next one I want to move on to is the piece as a whole. So I want to keep this piece as my inspiration. I don't want to actually alter this in any way. I don't want to like turn it into something. I just want to keep it as inspiration. And I thought, can we make an altered paperclip? I think we can. I have a paperclip at the ready. I want to put that on a bit of paper. So let's grab just a plain bit of paper. Hopefully this is, it should be long enough. Paperclip over here, so when we put it on a page it'll go up in between these two pieces of paper. Right, so we might need to do a little trimming, but because we've got these bits sticking out, but that's okay. That's a start. So that's just basic putting a bit of paper in as you would do for well, the way I make altered paper clips, that's what I would start with. Just going to move this inky tissue aside because I don't need that anymore. And I've got some scrapbook paper here, this cool like peppermint candy one and this green and white striped. They're both out of different Christmas paper 6x6 scrapbook paper pads. I thought they would work for this. So let's start by tracing around this. I think I want the stripes straight-ish. So I'm going to trace around it. So this is actually using the piece, the original item, as a template. Of course, if you don't have a piece of packaging like this, then hopefully I will get to kind of reproduce one from scratch in this video. But whatever packaging you've got, if you're interested in the shape, grab it out, see what you can play with, what you can turn it into. See, I'm still getting some transfer from that marker pens. Right. I don't think this would be too hard to replicate from scratch, so we will have a go, as long as I don't run out of time. Just going to cut straight down there, I think, for now. All my concentrating going in the cutting action. Okay, just get rid of those scrappy bits there. Right, now I want to test out my punch. Is this one I suspect is too big. It is. So my 1-inch one, now I can never remember if this is 1 inch or 3/4 of an inch. I think it's 1. Yeah, it's 1. I'm wondering if this is the right size. It's fairly close, but not exact. So we will probably be using that to recreate, but for this one I'm going to hand cut around these circles. I could have made it bigger or smaller with the punch. It wouldn't have mattered. It doesn't have to be exactly the same. But for this, I am sticking to my template. So I'm guessing this is like 1 1/4 inch size, this circle, or half circle. So I hope you had a fantastic weekend. We were at hubby's work do party, is what we were doing. So I'm going to fold that in half. I haven't cut it exactly the same size, but that's okay because it will go on different sides of a page or whatever you want to attach it to, generally a page. That's what I'd... Right, so what I'm going to do is line it up in the middle, like so. And my pencil, I'm going to take it slightly inside the curve. Something like that. Might have to do a little bit of fiddling around to get it right. No, that looks pretty darn good. I'm happy with that. Okay, glue. Now what glue do I want to use? I want to be fairly strong. I think tacky glue should be okay. I'm going to go tacky glue. So I'm going to cover this whole piece on one side. Right around. Good amount in. I'm also going to put some on the actual paper clip. Put it back in the center there and give it a nice press down. Don't want to stick your top layer of paper to it though, so make sure that's not glued down with any glue seepage, because that would close up your paper clip and you wouldn't be able to slip it over top of anything, which would be very disappointing. Now for this, I am ignoring this part. I don't want that for this. I just want, it's kind of a cool shape. I think it's interesting shape. So now I'll do this side. That seems to be fairly well stuck down. So I'm going to do the same on this side. Include some glue on the actual paper clip and all the way around the paper. Okay, now because we've got a layer in between our front and back, it means this doesn't line up the same because it's got that thickness in between. So once that's all done, it won't matter because like I said, it will be on, you know, either side, so you won't see that it doesn't line up, but you can go in and just trim it up. And I think I will because it's got pencil lines on, so when you take it off or somebody takes it off, they will be visible. Another way to deal with it is ink. Put a bit of ink. So I'm just going to tidy it up just because I'm a bit, I guess, a bit of a perfectionist. And so that bugs me that these are showing. But it's really not that necessary at all to be so careful about it or worry about it. But when I'm tired, I also find it more difficult to fight my tendencies. You know what that's like? You know, when you're tired, your kind of defenses are a bit low and you've just got to do it because you know you won't feel comfortable until you've addressed that thing. So that's where I'm at today. I need to do it for my own peace of mind. Right, sorry, just had to take care of my nose there. So I think that's pretty nicely glued down. So it should just slip over a page or whatever you want to put it on. And then we can grab another bit of, no, that's not going to work. Where's a bit of paper when you want it? Let's just grab this coffee dyed bit. I wanted something that you could see. So then that will slide up. It actually reminds me of like a chopping board. It's really cute. And then add a little focal image both sides and you're good to rock and roll. So quite a simple little altered paper clip. That's just fun. Just something a little different. Okay, so my next thought, so we've got border on a page, we've got altered paper clip. Another thought is a page tab as an option. So let's try and recreate the shape this time rather than trace it, so that you might be able to create this similar shape if I can kind of convey that well enough. So let's, size doesn't really matter, but I'm going to try and work out. Oh, doorbell, just a moment please. Sorry about that. I've been waiting on courier parcels, one for my husband, one for me, and there were 3 courier parcels arrived this morning. And this one I ordered over a week ago, and it's been delayed in the post, in the courier post, all week. Like, and it's finally arrived 7 days after I ordered it. So I've got it upside down so my address is not showing. I had a little spend at one of the Black Friday sales and got myself some new ink pads. I'm super excited because they were really good price, and they're the full size one, which I wasn't actually expecting. I was thinking they were going to be this size, but they're not. I'm really excited. Look, 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 look. So we've got cherry pink, iris, and black cherry. So that will go with my Emerald City and my Ganesh. I'm so excited. I'm so excited that they're like the bigger size. I guess you would call the normal size, not the middies. I love the middies. I've got no problem with the middies. I was expecting these to be this size. So fun. Gonna have to play with those later on. Right, put them aside now. I've just been waiting so long, you know. It's like they'll get here when they get here. I was telling myself all this. They'll get here. And now they've finally arrived. Right. Anyway, let's get back to this. I was in the middle of measuring. So it's an awkward size actually. It's 4.5 centimeters. So it's like 1 3/4 inches plus a smidge. So what will we go? We could go 2 inches. Let's just make life easy and go 2 inches. So I'm going to base it on this. I'm just going to write on the back of here. Even though it's not going to be the same. It is a guide, and that's 4.5 inches. So because we're going 2 inches across, do we want to go, we'll change the shape. We could go 5 inches. I don't know. Give it a go. There's no rights and wrongs. Now this paper is non-directional, which is brilliant, so I don't have to worry about brain space trying to work that out, which is very good today. So I don't think I've got brain space. Oh, that's not square. Why is that not square? That's probably exactly the same, dear. You just spinned it completely around. I don't know. Yeah, paper does not seem to be square. It's weird. It is very weird. So what I'm going to do is trim a little bit off, so we're going to make it straight. Yeah, see it tails down and it's thicker at that end. It definitely is not straight. Not good for a commercial product, really. It's supposed to be the same exact dimensions in each direction. So 5 inches by 2 inches. Okay, there we go. So I've made up my own size, going roughly by this. Right, I am going to fold it in half. Get a nice crease. Now for our circles here, I'm going to wonder which punch to use. Doesn't really matter, I might use that one, but I'm going to do some measuring. So this part, you know, if you don't like measuring, you might want to not do this part. You might want to find another way, but I'm actually going to, thinking about it, use this here, and I might turn it inside out so I don't have to keep grabbing the wrong pencil. That one's not sharp. Turning it inside out so my pencil marks won't be visible. So I'm going to line it up on that fold line where this is folded, creased. I'm going to mark there and then slide it over this way and mark there, and actually I didn't have that straight, so we'll try that again. Make a mark there. So I'm just making a mark, and I might not be able to use this punch, so I can get an even shape on both sides. And then you probably can't see, I don't know if that's going to help, lining up the inside of my punch on those 2 marks. Yeah, it will work. Oh, I just wore that, jumped out, and I'm going to do the same over here, and that's going to give us pretty much the same shape. It's not going to be exact, but it's going to be pretty darn close. So we've got our fun curved part there. So that's pretty easy, that part. Now this part, do I want to try and replicate that shape? I do like that shape. I think it's really fun. I do need to round the corners. So let's do that. You don't have to round the corners, but this has got rounded corners, and I do like rounded corners. So I'm going to, here we go, easy. Easy if you've got a corner rounder. Okay, although it didn't punch properly. Again, this is just my perfectionism going, oh, I can't stand that little bit that's been left behind. You sip of my tea for a moment. My voice is sounding better today. Yesterday when we got home, I was sounding so raspy, just with tiredness. It was my voice. You could definitely hear it in my voice. Do I want to try and do this shape? It's going to be really annoying to try and cut that out. Okay, so what I'm going to do, to stop fiddling around, stop wasting time, so I'm going to use my crocodile. I did grab it out, as you can see, just in case. So what I'm going to do here, you could turn it into an altered paper clip, but have the paper clip sitting a bit lower so that you've still got a tab. I've never tried that, so give it a go and let me know if it works. Maybe I'll have a play with it one day. So I want my big hole. Is it big enough? Actually, now that I've grabbed that out, I'm wondering, do I want to use my slot punch instead, which is very dusty. Let's dust it on my t-shirt. I think I want the slot punch because I've got an idea I want to try. So where do we want it? About there. Does that look even? I guess it's not going to matter too much. Let's go there. So this is going to go on a page as a tab, like so. Probably not easy to see on the white paper actually, because it's white base. It's going to go on a page like that, and I envisage it being a top tab. If you want it as a side tab, then I wouldn't use the slot punch, I'd use a round hole punch. But I've got a specific plan for using the slot punch. The reason I wanted that rather than the round one, or this would have been really good. If I copied the shape, I would have had the curve at the bottom. But what I want to do with this is I want to grab some ribbon. I've got a selection of ribbon here on the side of my desk. And this is definitely a Christmas sort of feel, so I've got Christmas colours. These are from something I made years ago and we didn't use them all, so I took the ribbons back off them so I could reuse them, because I don't want to waste all that ribbon. Don't know how big a length we'll need. Just want to loop it through. So creating a loop here and then passing the ends back through it. And pulling it not too tight. This is only paper, so if we pull too tight we're going to actually rip. It's a bit crinkly because of that, what it came off of. So maybe we want to, no, pulling the wrong way. Shorten the tails. About that long. Cut right on that crinkle. Okay, so now that I've got that for the length that I want, I'm going to cut, maybe we'll just go, I'm not quite happy with that on the crinkle, it's a little bit too sharp an angle, so we'll change that before we cut any more. Right, so let's cut 2 more lengths in different colours. So we're going to do one in yellow and one in the red. I don't think I will use the red with the gold. Which bit was that? No, not that bit. Getting myself mixed up, so that's the other bit. So red. Let's put those aside so I don't. Right, again, that's quite a sharp angle. Let's just soften that a little bit. I'll probably trim them up again anyway, but just pleases me to do it now. So we are going to have that crinkle in the ribbon, but that's okay. Right, so we've got 3 bits of ribbon. So I'm just doing it through one side at the moment, and then we'll actually do, yes. Let's cut another 3 bits of this ribbon so we can have the same on both sides. That would make sense, wouldn't it, to do it at the same time? So that. You could use lace, you could use baker's twine, string, whatever you want to use to decorate your little hole, slot punch, hole punch, whatever you choose to do. If indeed you choose to do this type of project. I did not cut that the same length. Oh well, that's all good. It'll be fine. Right, so we want 3 on each side. Right, so we loop, push it through your hole, and then put the tails through the loop and pull it till it's secure but not too tight. Whoops, it's satin ribbon, so it's a little bit slippery to work with. Do like to challenge myself, don't I, when I'm running on no sleep? Or that's not true, I have had sleep, I just haven't had enough sleep. Right, I actually wonder whether I can fit 3 in here. We'll soon find out. Two work quite nicely in terms of the size of my slot punch, but let's go for a third. It'll either work or it won't, and we'll soon find out. Oh, fingers and thumbs. I'm super happy with my new Stays On ink pads. So fun. Okay, yeah, the 3 fit on there nicely. What was I worried about? Okay, now if you are afraid that these are going to come undone like I am, because especially as this is satin ribbon, it does have a tendency to slip on each other. Just go in with a little bit of glue and add some in under where it's looped. So make sure you've got it tight as you are willing to pull it without damaging anything, and then just give it a press for that glue, and then it won't slip. It's not going to come off. Oops. I've got little loops of ribbon like this on one of my pencil cases to tell me which colours in which section. You know, one of those cases that have the 4 different zips, and so I've tied little ribbons, exactly the same method, onto the zips, so I know, you know, if I'm looking for a blue, well, it's in that zip compartment. But I never glued them, and various cats through the years have liked to play with the little ribbons and consequently pulled them off. That's what happens in my house. Oh, that's cute. I love that. I mean, yeah, I suppose you could do this sideways. Right, do I want them in a... Yeah, I'm going to do them the same order, but because we've flipped it over, it'll be like the reverse, if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense. Probably not. Oh, my neck's really sore too. I didn't have a brilliant sleep while we were away. It was a huge bed, massive bed. It was like a California King or something. It was like you could fit 4 adults in it. It's so big. And it was lovely and it was comfortable, but I actually kept waking up with a sore back because I guess maybe the pillow conformation and things were just different to what I'm normally used to. And so and then when I woke up in the morning, it was like almost 7 a.m. when I woke up, and it was like, no, I can't go back to sleep. I don't want to go back to sleep. I'm actually uncomfortable. So I sat up for a bit and just like browsed on my phone sort of thing for a while. I was wanting to read, but 1, my eyes were really tired, and 2, I would have had to turn on a light, and I didn't want to disturb hubby, who was still sleeping. So yeah, I could have done with more sleep myself, but I was like, I know I'm already uncomfortable. Trying to go back to sleep, 1, I'll just feel more dreadful, and potentially my back would feel even worse. Right, so holding that glue down just for it to set. And number 3 or 6, sixth one we've done. Oops, grab both tails, pull it, and then just secure it. Rightio then. So that's something I've never done, put like ribbon tassels, I guess you'd call them. So again, on a page, glue it on. I would glue it on as a tab so that it sticks out. I guess you could use it sideways, but I like the idea of it as a topper so that your ribbons hang down. Now you could actually glue it on as a tuck spot as well. If you just glued along the top here, you could quite easily, we'll just imagine this is a journal card or a tag or something. You would have to negotiate the ribbons, of course, use it as a top tuck, which is a cool idea as well. And then again, you could put a little focal image or a word or something on there to decorate that up a little bit. And do the same on the other side, a little tuck. So it's a combination of tab and tuck, or it could be just a tab. It could be, I mean, what would it look like if you put it all the way down on the page so you didn't have the tab sticking out? It would be all right. I probably would not like that as much. I need another bit of paper, something with colour. No, that's not wide enough. Will that do? That will kind of work. If you had it glued up here, you would have a bit of your back showing in the curves, but I think I would still prefer to use it as a tab / tuck. If you don't want the tab, you can still like do this idea and just make it like a tuck spot or just a decorative element on the page. It doesn't actually need to perform a function. It can be purely decorative and just glue it down completely. Or here's another idea. You could have it as a tab or not. Glue it at the bottom, and then you could slide in like some small ephemera, like a mini belly band kind of thing. So sliding in that way. Ideas, I tell you what, even on lack of sleep, they're still coming, which encourages me greatly. So I think I'm going to call it a day, because while I said ideas are coming, I can feel my neck getting really tense and sore. So I'm going to give it a break. I still have more videos to do today. So what do we do? From this bit of packaging, just this simple bit of packaging, I made a fun little border for my journal page, and I might go and do another one on the other side. I don't know, as I'm playing in my journal, anything is possible. We made an altered paper clip to go over a page and hold, if I can get the page, here we go. So altered paper clip, and then we've made a tab, and can also be used as a tuck spot with some fun dangly ribbons. Now, doesn't that go well with this? I'm going to have to put this in my journal, I think, because like I just love that. Maybe on this side. So we're bringing across those colours. Now, if you don't like the bulk of that, it does add a little bit of bulk. You could perhaps make this as an altered paper clip as well, and then have the dangles. Like on this one, we could add the dangles in the bottom. So that's, there you go. There's another idea. But I just love how that connects across with those colours. I think that's super fun. Okay, well, that's it for today, guys. I hope you're inspired to grab out your next bit of packaging that you come across that you look at and go, well, that's kind of cool or interesting or different, or one that makes you go, and that kind of wondering, what could I do with this? It's cool, but what could I do? Just start experimenting, start playing, start trying out some things like stenciling or whatever and see if it works. Grab out blank bit of paper, have some fun, grab some whatever, pens, ink, and play. I think that's the essence of junk journaling, is just to play with things. See what you can create that's unique, that's you. Okay, guys, take care. Have a great day, and I'll be back again tomorrow. I'll see you then. Bye.